in on the show, you know that the show is packed already. I'm not alone. In the studio, I've got my partner. Together, we will be dishing all the stories, analyzing them, presenting them just the way you love it. Mr. Johnson, Marco G, but you know me, know him, not me. Oh, Uncle Farmboy, calm down. You know him as MJ, but he loves to say, keep it short and simple.
Mr. J, Mr. J, Uncle Fine Boy, with all this prep, how can I be a sports lover, a radio lover? I will be elsewhere. You have given us all the recipe for a mouth-watering show. And then what else can I say? This is summer of transfer, Euro is going on, where AFCON qualifying, draw and everything, you have tabled them. All I can tell you, just fasten your seatbelt, relax, and let's have a jolly ride on Sporty Time.
Absolutely. He said, I've said it all, but I guess I've not said some things.
No. If we go into the details.
Not really the details. You can follow us on our YouTube page. Now you know.
You can see what's going on in the studio on YouTube. Our handle is VOP 96.1 FM Abuja. You will definitely catch us. And then on
Radio Garden.
On Radio Garden, we are also VOP 96.1 FM Abuja. We are also on TikTok,
absolutely,
Instagram and all. Just use the handle VOP
Voice of the People 96.1 Abuja, and you definitely connect with us. On YouTube, do well to like, share, and most importantly, comment, and we will read your message every day. We keep getting new texters, new commenters, and of course, new subscribers. Yes, subscribe to our YouTube page, and if you are benevolent enough, click on that bell. That is the notification bell, so that anytime Mr. J is on the show, anytime Uncle Fineboy is on the show, you will be notified, and you will definitely be Christian. Get in sync with the show and enjoy good time in the world of sport. Mr. J, of course, the phone number is also on. We have not opened it just yet. In the next 10 minutes, we will be open. And you can start giving us your call. The phone line is 0808 312 8618. 0808 312 8618. And on WhatsApp, it is 0700 010 961 961. It is 0700 010 961 961. Yes, just store those numbers on your phone, and when you open a phone line, it will be.
You have all the avenues to reach us. No one is left out in this show. You just have to listen, tell someone to tell someone and tell someone.
Absolutely.
That is where the action is happening. Once it's Sporty O'clock, which is 4 p.m. every time on VOP.
Let's move to the local scene. Mr. J, let's fly. And of course, from the local scene, Mr. J, where else should we begin if not far away?
Where the hunger is right now.
It is in Johannesburg, South Africa, where the draw was made concerning the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifiers. We hear that the Super Eagles of Nigeria have been drawn in Group D of next year's African Cup of Nations qualifiers with the likes of Benin Republic, Libya, and Rwanda. Recall that Benin Republic handed Super Eagles their first defeat.
The frustration. There is a frustration.
In the World Cup qualifiers, courtesy of Rosa technical and tactical promise over our former coach Finidi George. Yes, Kenneth Raw is the head coach of Benin Republic, the Cheetahs of Benin Republic, and we will be playing alongside the Bees of Rwanda before slugging it out against Libya. Mr. J, we will be playing against Benin Republic, and we will be playing against Rwanda. Remember, these two nations are also in our group in the World Cup qualifiers. And now, the draws have reunited us with these countries, and we will be playing again more like no love lost, no love found, more like revenge mission for Nigeria against Benin Republic, and more like we are going to deal with you in the World Cup qualifiers as well as dealing with you in the African Cup of Nations. I love this draw.
I am sorry to say, because you can't really beat your chest and say that we are dealing with them in the World Cup qualifier, and then we'll also be dealing with them in the AFCON qualifier. Because with what they are doing and with what we are seeing, I think they have they handle the handle of the knife in their hands. But then football nowadays is no longer played on papers. It's no longer played on old glories. You just have to come into it prepared. But it's a very good avenue, very good ground to still let NFF bring our Super Eagle to where they should be, to let the fans be boastful of what Super Eagle is, to tell Coach Gunero that yes, what happened last time was only but a mistake. We just have to make a statement. It is not by name. The people who made this name, their era is past. So, and we have the capable hands this time around to still do the needful, to still do the fans proud. We have to rewrite the story that we are still the giant of Africa. It's a very good opportunity for us, because whatever has happened, it's a slip. We all know, if you look at the performance, it's nowhere near the performance of Super Eagle. Or we think, okay, let's leave it late and we could no longer meet up with the needed opportunities in that game. But then we are going into it again. We still have game against them in the World Cup qualifier.
Absolutely.
And we now have games against them in the
AFCON qualifiers.
Very good ground for me.
Very good ground for Mr. J. Is really not confident that we will deal with them in the World Cup qualifiers as well as the African Cup of Nations qualifiers. As for me, it is
revenge.
Not only revenge, it is also what's the word now? Redemption time. Yes, for them to redeem themselves. Recall that Benin defeated us by 2-1. We will definitely redeem ourselves. Just so you know, the qualifiers will kick off in September and it will run all through November 2025, Mr. J. Now let's look at the groups. We have about 12 groups, to which the top 2 nations will qualify for the AFCON proper. Now, let's look at the entire 12 groups. Now, in Group A, we have Tunisia, Madagascar, Comoros, and Gambia. Now, let me put you on the spotlight straight off, Mr. J. Who do you think will qualify from Group A? Once again, it is Tunisia, Madagascar, Comoros, and the Gambia.
And my number one pick is the guy in Port 1, which is Tunisia. Every other one, we've seen what Comoros are coming up with.
Comoros Island.
Comoros Island. They were coming up with they sprang some sort of surprises.
True.
But then I can't still pitch my tent with them. If I look at the Gambia, are they really there? My brother, let me pick Tunisia, and then let whoever gives me the best. I won't say anything out of the rest.
You don't want to stick out your. Okay, let's look at Group B. Group B has the likes of Morocco, Gabon, Central African Republic, and Lesotho.
This thing they did I am picking Morocco. We all
number one for you. Don't say we all. They might be surprised.
But then Gabon, they failed to qualify in the last edition, right? And we have
Central African Republic and Lesotho.
But I'm looking at a situation whereby a nation that has produced a one-time African best footballer should be able to redeem their image and then come to party. I'm looking at Gabon.
Unfortunately, Per-Emerick Aubameyang will no longer play.
No,
he has retired actually. But you just want to stick out with Gabon,
Exactly.
Absolutely. Now look at Group C. We have Egypt, Cape Verde, Mauritania, and Botswana.
It's okay. Egypt and Cape Verde.
Egypt and Cape Verde for Mr. J. As for you, our listeners, when you call, if you want to delve into this issue, just tell us which of the groups you are supporting and which of the countries you fancy will make it out of that group. And now for Group E, we have Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Togo, and Liberia.
The way this thing is, even though it's football and you know surprises are bound to spring up.
Looking at Equatorial Guinea, they actually surprised us in the last edition.
Exactly. So who am I not to tip them to qualify? You understand?
Okay, so Equatorial Guinea for you.
Yeah.
Alongside,
who is it?
We have Algeria, we have Togo, and Liberia.
I think Algeria will not fall my hand.
Absolutely. Ranked among the top 12 nations in Africa, they should be fancy to make it out of this group. But quickly now, Group F, we have Ghana, we have Angola, we have Sudan, and Niger.
God has done Ghana a very great one. Ghana will qualify.
And we have Ghana, we have Angola, Sudan, and Niger.
Angola lately they have not really been the Angola we used to know, but still I expect them to qualify from this group.
All right, and Group G, we have Cote d'Ivoire, we have Zambia, we have Sierra Leone, and we have Chad.
This is looking simple, even though it's based on how they are ported. But if you look at what they do in football, in their footballing history and what we've seen them doing lately, I won't be wrong to easily pick out the first two teams in this log. But then it's football. When it actually kickstart, we are bound to see surprises. But
okay.
Then, for now, I will pitch my tent with Cote d'Ivoire and
Zambia?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Both of them have won the African Cup of Nations at least twice in their history. Quickly, Mr. J, let's be snappy about this Group H. We have DR Congo, that is Democratic Republic of Congo. We have Guinea, we have Tanzania, and Ethiopia. Difficult, right?
Yeah, this is difficult for me to pick, but the number one and number last are my pick in this one.
That is DR Congo and Ethiopia. No place for Guinea. No place for Tanzania. Well, that is your choice.
Yes.
And Group E, we have Mali, we have Mozambique, we have Guinea-Bissau, and we have Eswatini.
I leave that. Guinea-Bissau, and which one is in Port 1?
We have Mali, we have Mozambique, we have Guinea-Bissau, and we have Eswatini.
I pick Guinea-Mozambique.
Guinea-Mozambique for you. Group J have the likes of Cameroon, Namibia, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. Cameroon
and
Cameroon, Namibia, Kenya, and Zimbabwe.
Cameroon, Zimbabwe.
Cameroon, Zimbabwe for Mr. J. And we have in Group K, we have South Africa, Uganda, Congo, and South Sudan.
South Africa and Congo.
South Africa, no place for Uganda. Oh, wow. And the last group, Group L, we have Senegal. We have Guinea-Bissau, we have Malawi, and we have Burundi.
Senegal and Malawi.
Senegal, Malawi for Mr. J. All right, so that's how these countries have been seated in the different group. Group 1 to Group 12, that is Group A to Group L. All right, away from that, let's touch down at the camp of the Flying Eagles as we hear that the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, President Ibrahim Musa Gusau, have said that the camp of the Flying Eagles will be declared open early ahead of the 2024 Wafubi Championship. We know how the Flying Eagles have fared in the previous competitions where camping tends to open late and coaches get to be signed late. But I think the NFF have decided to improve on their previous antecedent by declaring that camp will open as early as possible. Now, in an exclusive interview, the president said that the team will enjoy more than 2 months camping for both the coaches as well as the players in order to get them prepared for the regional competition. He regrets a recent not too good result of the Nigeria under-17 team at the Wafubi competition where they failed to qualify for the finals. This, according to him, is one of the major reasons the Flying Eagles must enjoy early preparation. I think this is good news. This is laudable.
Very good one. I think. See, let me tell you one thing.
Please tell me.
We've gotten very good hands, capable legs, and very good heads. You understand? I mean, in terms of coaches and players, all they need is better and early preparation. Now, planning a 2 month preparation ahead of the competition, there's no way we will not get something. We will not get good news out of this prep.
So for you, this is something that we should commend, we should laud it as well.
Really commendable. Really commendable.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's talk club football this time before we go to the female side of football and let you know the biggest news coming out from the camp of the Super Falcons. It is not looking good for our own player, but just before then, the hope of Nigerians club taking part in the second edition of the African Football League is hanging in a balance. The competition is set to kick off in 2023 with Nigeria's representative Eimba International crashing out in the first game against Wydad Casablanca. That was the first edition in 2023. Yeah. Now, the Confederation of African Football yesterday confirmed that the teams that will participate in the second edition have been increased from 8 to 16. They have already started sending an invite to clubs that will play in the competition. Just so you know, Mamelodi Sundown of South Africa is presently the defending champions after they defeated Al Ahly in the final last year. But for Nigeria, our participation is hanging on a balance. We hope that the likes of Enugu Rangers and Remo Stars will do us well in this year CAF Champions League. Yeah. That is the only way that any club from Nigeria or from Nigerian League, yes, will be selected. Even though invitation have started, have been sent out rather, we still have some that will be sent out. But CAF have started sending out invitations to clubs, and we also hope that Eimba and of course El Kanemi Warriors will do us well in the CAF Confederation Cup. This is the only indices that we may make it to the African Football League. But for now, we do not have any team that will represent us.
I think they call, since there's already a criteria and we already know what the criteria is. Do well in the CAF competition, which you are currently in now. The only assignment there is for Nigerian representatives in CAF competition. So please go and do us well, because go there, do very well, so that you earn this call up. You know, it's a competition. It's an avenue for you to win laurel. If you do that, at least you'll be. If you might not win all, but at least if you are competing in many, be able to win one. And that's what we are clamoring for. We should be known beyond the Nigeria shores.
We should be known even outside the shores of Nigeria. Yeah. We should be known in the shores of Africa, and perhaps well known as well outside the shores of Africa. Bad news, devastating news, heartbreaking news for our own Alimatu Ayinde, as we are told that she will no longer participate in the Olympics that will be going down in Paris, France. Why? We hear that she picked up an injury yesterday morning while she was training with our team, Rosenberg. We hear that the midfielder have now been declared unfit according to the statement from a club, and she will not be part of the Olympic Games. Mr. J, big blow for Nigeria, big blow for Coach Randy Waldron, and of course a big blow for the Super Falcons. This is one woman that has been ever present for the team against Cameroon, against South Africa. She was
against
there.
England.
She was there to help the team qualify for the Olympics, and just when a glory was to shine after 16 years of absence, injury sets no.
It's heartbroken, and it's a very bad news for Nigeria, as in for Nigeria and Nigerians. But then, man, this is coming at a very bad time. But what else can we do? We are going into the competition with 23 players, I guess. One is out. It's now this has given the coach a harder job, extra work to do now, to look for that player, because he has already submitted the list. But I think there may be permission for him to replace this player who is declared unfit.
Definitely.
He has to look inward, look around, look outside the box, and then see who will be capable to put on her boots.
Now, the alternative players for the Super Falcons player, talking about Alimatu Ayinde, there are 4 players that have been penciled to replace number one is Gift Monday. We have Ifoma Onumonu, we have Jumoke Alani, and Morufat Ademola. These are the 4 players that at least one of them will replace in the squad.
For me, if I have to pick, I will pick between Gift Monday and Hanonu.
Onumonu, that's Ifoma.
Ifoma Onumonu. The coach should look beyond this. But then, not me. He is the one who is with this player, who knows them, and he should look at what their performances have been during. Do they have camp? If they have camping, he should look at what their performances has been and look at what their fitness have been, and then pick someone out of this.
And this is the message that her club Rosengard released. Unfortunately, Alimatu Ainde injured his knee during training yesterday and will miss the Olympics. We wish her a speedy recovery. Get well, Alimatu. The statement reads. Alright, before we move to tennis and then we go on our first official commercial break, Mr. J, since yesterday it has been war of words. First, it started with Victor Osimhen and Finidi George, and then it went to a certain Francesca Ordega and coach Randy Waldron. We thought we have seen it all. There came a certain Onome Ebi and of course coach Randy Waldron. That case has been put to bed for now. But late yesterday evening and all through today, it has been coach Sunday Olise and Mikel Obi. Now, Mikel Obi released a statement saying that Sunday Olise was a fantastic player during his days, but as a coach, he is a terrible coach who do not know what he is doing and lacks the prerequisites to take the Super Eagles to the next level. He is not a coach, according to John Mikel Obi. And Coach Olise fired back at him and said, Mikel Obi, during his time, he was not a fantastic player.
Wow.
That while he was there as a coach, he knew players and he decided to call players that are better than him. Even though the NFF advised him not to pick Mikel Obi, not to pick Mikel Obi, not to pick Vicente Yama, and not to pick Emmanuel Emenike in a squad moving forward. That those players are troublesome. Olise went back and said he drove over 200 kilometers to go talk to Mikel Obi and explain his philosophy to him when he traveled to England during his time at Chelsea. Mikel Obi refused to turn up to see him. He went to visit Emenike. Emenike came. They had a good time. He went to visit Vicente Yama. Yama came. They even had lunch together. He went to Yama's club and watched him train. When it was time for Eyama to come play against Tanzania, Eyama called him 2 days later and said, "Boss, I will not be part of the team. I need to go bury my mother." That was when Vicente Yama lost his mother and he had to go bury the mother. But for understandable. Yeah. But for Mikel Obi, he refused to turn up. He refused to show up. And he outrightly disrespect Coach Sunday Olise. And Coach Sunday Olise have said this guy needs to be called to order. Blasting, legends, talking to them anyhow is not the right way to go. You are not the best during your playing days. So it has been bass and boss between these two guys. Who knows where the next episode of Players and Coaches will come from, Mr. J?
My question is, should we continue in this manner? I don't care if trading words and basking and boasting will lead us to glory. I don't care, but then we'll know. As a football, I played during my own time, even though it was at a very low level.
Yes, you played
I did.
Monkey Post, street football.
No, not that one. At least I played the local, state league. I did. Football, you have rascals. You have some players are very, very talented, but they are not good leaders. Some are very calm. It's very difficult for you to pick error on those calm ones because if they make mistake, they admit it. You understand? But then we are talking of the two of these guys. Are they? This is where they have passed through. Sunday Olise has played for Super Eagles. Mikel Obi had played for Super Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Are they helping us building Super Eagles, or they are helping us destroying Super Eagles?
Question.
So why can't we be good legends? Okay, is it the kind of thing that the players who are hungry or are longing to play for Super Eagles? Okay, I want to play for Super Eagles so that one day I'll be boastful and have mouth to talk at my elders anyhow. I condemn Mikel Obi, you did really well, no doubt about it. You helped Nigeria during your playing time. Likewise, Olise, why bringing article that will bring condemnation to these players? It should be articles that should be promoting our legends.
As absolutely.
So that everyone, whoever, being you a small, but even though you don't know their playing time, because if you call a player like Rashidi Yekini in his blessed memory now, even children that were unborn during his time, they will remember or recognize him as a great Nigerian player.
Absolutely.
This is the kind of light we should be putting our legends, not talking about this. But if my interest is growing our football, but we should grow it in a very good light.
Coach Sunday Olise, Mikel Obi, our legend, we want you to bury this hatchet and help our country's football progress to the next stage. If other countries can look at you, if other countries can read this, if other countries can watch this show of shame, this is what I call it. It is a show of shame. I don't think it is the best way to go. Both of them are legends during their playing days, and they are legends in their own right. Help build the Super Eagles. That is Mr. J's call, and that is my call.
Exactly. It's into podcast. You understand? This is the call. He should be doing positive things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he should use his platform to promote us.
Finally, from the local scene, before we jet out, we hear that an international table tennis champion, Effiong Edem, has called on the Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, NTTF, to establish a league for all table tennis clubs in the countries. She said the National Table Tennis League should be established the same way there's Nigerian Football Federation League to inject the spirit of competition. Now, briefing journalists about the 4th edition of the table tennis tournament for children under the ages of 9 to 17, Effiong said the league will highly enhance the future of the sports in the country and help expose individual players. This is commendable. If we can have a league in basketball, a league in football, then we should have a league in table tennis.
Yes. See, that is where we talk about sports development. You know, it should be all round, so that, like, we are going to Olympic now, we should have handful of competitors that, okay, we can bank on. If we can't get a medal in this, we should be able to get medal in that, and that will really boost our medal chances. And the only way is to develop the sports well, and this is one of the ways.
More loading on the show after this time out. Don't touch a dime. When we return, we will be taking you straight to the foreign scene.
his calibre, playing at centre-back and not being particularly confident.
This could open up kindly for De Silva, and it's nibbled in! The bees sting instantly! Horrible De Gea spinach! Twisted up stroke, but that should never get through.
Well, he doesn't need me, he doesn't need Tim Howard, he doesn't need anybody in any studio. Playing at centre-back and not being particularly confident.
This could open up kindly for De Silva, and it's nibbled in! The bees sting instantly!
All right, welcome back to the second half of your sports show, Sports Lounge, one and only a flagship sports show in the land, reaching you live from the studio of Voice of the People, 96.1 FM, Abuja. My name still remains Franklin Imona, the one you love to call Uncle Fine Boy, and I've got Mr. J right here with me, and together we will reach out to you. Definitely, we have been giving you the best of sport and its entirety, and we know that you have been itching to lend your voice on the show. And guess what? Our phone line is officially open. It is 0808 312 8618 0808 312 8618. That is the number you can reach us on the phone line. Once again, it is 0808 312 8618. And on WhatsApp, you can start dropping your WhatsApp message, WhatsApp voice note, WhatsApp call. We will definitely give attention to your voice. It is 0700 010 961 961. 0700 010 961 961. That is the number that you can reach us live on the show. All right, let's move straight to the foreign scene. Alright, from the foreign scene, let's start with Manchester United. Then we move to Arsenal before we give you the latest from Chelsea. Perhaps we will take you out of England and touch on Bayern Munich and let you know the players Bayern Munich have signed and the players they are eyeing, as well as Barcelona. Not Barcelona, they don't have money. They are broke, so they cannot buy. Yes, they cannot. I said it. Barcelona cannot buy.
But they can sell.
They don't have money to buy.
They can sell.
Barcelona needs to buy. It's not about selling. They need to buy. Let's start with Manchester United as we hear that Eric Ten Hag has finally put pen to paper to sign a 2-year contract with the club with an option to extend its contract. The new deal means the Dutchman will remain at Old Trafford until the June of 2026. Now, speaking exclusively on Manchester United website, he said, "I am very pleased to have reached agreement with the club to continue working together. Looking back at the past 2 years, we can reflect with pride on 2 trophies and many examples of progression from where we were when I joined. However, we must also be clear that there are still lots of hard work ahead to reach the levels expected of Manchester United, which means challenging for the trophy, that is the EPL and the European titles." Talking about the Europa and the UEFA Champions League, Manchester United are on the verge of signing Bayern Munich to defend that matches the lead, and after which they have reached an agreement to sign a Uruguayan midfielder Ngueta. Joshua Zirkzee has almost put pen to paper, and we hear that these deals will be wrapped up as early as next week. 3 massive signings for Manchester United, including a new coach, including 9 board of directors, all signed, sealed, and delivered, and they have started work already in Manchester United. Mr. J, How beautiful can this news be for Manchester United fans worldwide?
A really beautiful one. You know, each time I look at, because before now, I am one of the advocates that Man U, because being the kind of club, a kind of club they are, to be going down the way they went down was really appalling. And I advocated that they should go for a coach like Eric Ten Hag. I still make proud to say, when things started going up and down for him, the supporters are carrying placards, Ten Hag should go, Ten Hag is hanging somewhere. But then, with what he said, he came in 2 seasons now and he's had 2 trophies for Man U. But then that is still left another point to debate. What do you define a successful season with? Is it how high you end, you finish on the table, or the silverware you were able to go home with? But then one thing I knew of Eric Ten Hag is that he's a good manager and he will build Man U, and we have all started seeing it. Like I said last time, Man U will be a serious threat this season.
Man U will definitely shock fans as well as competing for trophies, according to Mr. J. Now away from Manchester United, let's touch on Arsenal, as we hear that Mikel Arteta has given his fans as well as the board in Arsenal that he's close to signing a new Premier League side. Mikel Arteta's current deal with the Gunners will run out of the summer in 2025, but the 42-year-old is already preparing for next season and has assembled 9 players not playing at either the Euros or the Copa America for summer training camp in Marbella. This man has started his own preseason with players that are not in action in either the Euros or the Copa America. Not only that, we hear that Arsenal are continually they are keeping tabs on Barcelona defender Jules Koundé, and we hear that Mikel Arteta is a huge fan of this player. Arsenal have relaunched a bid for Bologna defender Calafiori, and we hear that that deal is almost done, as the players have given his thumbs up to moving to Arsenal. And Arsenal, they are still serious about to be contender for a fact that they have concluded deal to make permanent the loan deal of their goalkeeper. Talking about David Raya.
That has been signed. David Raya is a permanent gunner for now, and I tell you, if you are in Mikel Arteta's shoe, you wouldn't but do what he's doing right now. You come into a race, you run the race, and you almost clinch the finishing line. But
twice
you fell short. So if you are in his shoe, you won't just get tired there, because he's still yet to cross the line, and we've seen that he's going into early preparations for a team that has almost all his players and their international duty. That is to tell you how well Mikel Arteta has done for Arsenal. He has built the players, and that is why you see that players elsewhere, they are longing to come and play for Arsenal. I expect Arsenal to keep cooperating with Mikel Arteta to deliver at least a major silverware for Arsenal come next season.
Come next season, it's gonna be a tete-a-tete with Mikel Arteta as well as the board. Support me, get behind me, and let's make this deal come to pass. Alright, let's take this call on our WhatsApp and do a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Fine Boy and Mr. J.
Fantastic. Good to meet you, Franklin. Come on, let's know where you're calling us from, Franklin.
Franklin calling from Area 1 here.
Alright, let's hear you.
Okay, talking about this Mikel Obi and Sunday Olivier issue. I don't know Mikel Obi to be that kind of an outspoken person when he was still a player. And the Sunday Olivier, we all know him to have this issue of man management and all of those things. So I don't think those things are helpful to our football as it stands now. We already have a lot in our plate already.
Exactly.
So whatever they have, they should keep it in their private. They should keep it in their private and let us build our football. And for Manchester United and Eric Ten Hag, I think Man U made the right decision, because sentiment aside, I think these 2 seasons that just passed now, I think Manchester United have a better season than Arsenal. Trust me. I'm not just talking as a national fan, but
you are a national fan.
Of course.
And you are picking on Manchester United. Manchester United ahead of Arsenal. No, Franklin, just a minute. Just a minute. Now, let me put you on the spotlight. Yes. On what ground would you say Man United had a better season than Arsenal for 2 seasons? On what ground?
Well, if you talking about trophies, if you are going by trophies alone, I think Man U have a better thing than Arsenal, because
true.
What are you playing beautiful football for if you can't win a trophy?
Let me ask you a question.
Let him finish.
No, before he leaves.
Let him make his point.
So to me, my made a good decision retaining Eric Ten Hag.
Okay.
I'm sure if Ten Hag have the kind of material that Arteta has at his disposal, he will perform better.
Okay, now Mr. J wants to ask you a question.
Will you rather win? EPL? What is
the FA Cup?
No.
The EPL, the Champions League,
EFL trophy, and be relegated. And you still call it a good season, right?
But Man U are not relegated.
I'm gone. Man United were not relegated.
That's why I said that in earlier.
Chelsea that were thinking that they had a better season than Manchester United. They were displaced at the end of the season, beating Manchester United, the arrivals. So we know all of those things.
Yeah.
Let's just analyze football the way it should be. Trust me.
Exactly.
It's nice connecting with you guys anyway. Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure talking to you, Franklin. Our phone line is buzzing up. Stop. Let's take this call. Hello, good evening. Oh, wow.
Hello, good evening, Uncle Fineboy.
A very good evening to you. Uncle Fineboy is my name.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, brother.
My name is Evidence Emmanuel. I'm calling you right now from Umusi Zone 4.
Correct.
Uncle Fineboy.
Present, sir.
Talking about our Nigeria players.
Okay.
Now, since team then they add. Everybody just release you on Glasgow. Everybody just release their own passports. I beg, my own say, made the NFL final coach. Who won't qualify us for this AFCON?
Have you? Who have been drawn?
If not be saying our sentiment or anything, who be Rwanda and Guinea where Nigeria people?
Honestly.
Nigeria people play Guinea and all those people where they that group that coach said Nigeria people
true. We can't qualify without coach.
We can qualify without a coach. So my main focus now is to make Nigeria get us coach where we lose in our Super Eagles coach with that. For club side there, if they talk about signing there, now whatever, I'm a Man City fan. Now whatever Man City with that, Man City go watch on that, and I go do anything on I feel like. Then they will come up with a plan. See now, everybody done the rush, the go rumor for this player. Now, instead of making them focus on waiting there on ground, now they just is signing here. Is
it your signing? Is it your signing? Allow them to sign.
Allow them to sign. They are happy. Thank you very.
Wait, no, if not money, you know, don't say Chelsea get money past Man City now.
You don't name now. No, be me name.
He get one of caller where they always criticize Belgium. I just feel for him because I know
that's Prince.
Because of Kevin De Bruyne. Because of Kevin De Bruyne, I ain't get that 8 place ball. We no worry. But they just sign all these primary school boys. Even for our street now. Even for our street now, boys on the tier to wear Chelsea jersey.
Evidence, go away. Go away,
When the league starts, when league starts, now we know who be man.
Exactly.
Now, boys, when league starts, now we know.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Evidence, on the way. Such an hilarious caller. And speaking about Manchester City, we hear that Manchester City Brazilian goalkeeper Edison is on his way to joining a club in Saudi Arabia as second choice goalkeeper. Stefan Ortega will be the man to be the first choice goalkeeper for Manchester City. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show.
Good evening, fine boy.
That is my name. Let's meet you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. J.
Thank you, brother.
My name is Mike. I'm calling from Duse.
Mr. Mike, all the way from Duse. Let's hear you.
Mike, thank God I did not raise the doors today.
No, wala, no problem. Whether we are afraid of wearing
Mr. Mike, my boy scored goal this weekend, though. Tell them.
Since the never start. Well, let me start from the Falcons, the Super Falcons. I think even when yesterday, find out when we were listing the names of those players, the ones that have been called. In fact, it even kicked my mind. If not, I was like, I don't know why they drop a gift Monday that she was just on the standby. I think this one that the opportunity has already provided itself. That a player has injury. I think that lady need to be drafted in because. That lady is one lady that I know that in fact she's doing pretty well as far as the Super Falcons is concerned. They should just bring that lady in and make up the squad because we want to see that their performance in the competition if they start proper. And as for Mikel Obi, one thing I want to let us know is that if I'm not mistaken, Fine Boy and Mr. J, you can correct me. If we look at late Stephen Keshi, has he ever had any issue with any player to say, they come out to criticize and lambast the late Stephen Keshi, the boss?
No.
Is there anyone?
No.
None for now.
None for now.
And there will be none forever.
Amenike has not coached the Super Eagles as what? Officially a coach of Super Eagles.
True.
But from the under 17 coming up to what? I think under 20 or thereabout or something like that.
You're correct.
I've never had any coach, never had any player to say, Amenike with this beef or blast with Amenike and the players. These are the people that we are looking at. These are coaches that what? We said, we have coaches and we have managers. Now, these are people that what? They have two in one. They are coaches and they are managers. But if you bring people like what? You say, now look at somebody just gone. In fact, I've not even had Mikel Obi know him to spirit have this kind of spirit to being confrontation. I don't know. But he's coming out to say, this guy, he did this. And look at this guy with Finidi and him with Olise. In fact, these are people that is very difficult, very rare. Yes, all of them are. You cannot tell me that Mikel is insulting this guy now because all of them are Super Eagles players at his time. They are Super Eagles players, of which even with Finidi tomorrow, Victor Simo will become ex-player as well. For the fact that he keep playing now does not mean that he should air his heart out. This is what happened. This is what happened. I am telling you, these are the things. We need a manager and a coach that will bring these guys together. Be a father to them. Not the person that will tell them, I'm your senior brother. No. You need a father to those players. Not a senior brother coach. That is not what we are looking at. We need a father. If you get that father to them, I am telling you, will do well. And as for everything hard, I am telling you, I thank God that they send his contract. It's just for him to what? To complete all the record that he has not break. He will complete them this season. All the
there you go again.
He will complete them this season. There's no problem. They give him contract. Let him go ahead.
With that,
the one that said, if the season starts, will they buy past even Man City?
Mr. Mike, let me remind you that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is a major shareholder now.
That is it. That is my joy.
So everything is ticking the boxes for you.
Yes, everything is what is to my bidding.
All right.
Let him go ahead.
Thank you very much.
I was so happy when I was hearing that they will sack him. I was so happy. Thank God that
Are you sure, Mr. Mike? All right, thank you, Mr. Mike. If we let you, you can go on and on and on. Let's wrap up the show as it's going to be a reunion of father and I would say father and son, but more like a leader and a progeny. Wow, our phone line is still building, but come on, France and Portugal have all to play for in the Euros. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the show. 1 minute.
Uncle Simon, the man was calling back. I just want to ask what happened to Ashley Plumtree.
Ashley Plumtree, she's in the league.
She's not. She's on the list.
You mean the squad for the Olympics?
Yes. She's not on the list now. They want to play in Saudi Arabia.
Of course, a left back, the light king, perhaps.
Yes.
Perhaps the coach discovered that she might not just be the player that perhaps the coach does not believe in her abilities to play in the Olympics, or better still, our club did not release her.
You see how they lose player, but then they look confident on the gear now.
No, not really. Now, this is how it is. It's only 18 players that will be called to the Olympics and not the usual 24. But FIFA have extended the squad to at least 24 players. But Coach Randy Waldron decided to stick with 18 players, and he felt that Ashley Plumtree should not play in the Olympics.
You know one funny thing, but if we reach that match, we are to just to go participate to represent, say we'll come. We are not going there to compete. And after the group stage, we are coming back home. That's just the thing. Thank you.
All right, thank you. But come on, as Nigerians, we must keep our hopes high and continue to pray for our team. And in the world of tennis, before we step out of the studio, we hear that Ariel Data shock a British #1 Katja Boita in an extraordinary final set tie to break her and to reach the Wimbledon third round. No party for Katie Boita. And as for Yannick Sinner, #1, it was an epic game as he got down at the center court when it defeated Matteo Berrettini to reach the third round of the Wimbledon. And in the world of cycling, Mark Cavendish has finally been immortalized after winning the French Tour de France, going to bow out in the 14th state, but he said, no, I can go on and get myself immortalized, and that he did in grand style. Mr. J, unfortunately, our time is fast.